Okay, here we go. Jarrett Stidham, 7th quarterback in NFL history to make his first start of the season in the playoffs. And first one since the 70s to do it in the title game. Bo Nix there. He is out with the ankle. You know how that went. Drake Maye looking to spoil all these Cinderella storylines about Jarrett Stidham. 8-0 on the road this season. Stidham on a 4th and 1. Highly controversial play. We'll get into it. The Broncos already up 7-0. Sean Payton elects to go for it. The play amounts to absolutely nothing. The Patriots defense was all over it. They do not take the points. They look at it and they say, no, it's actually a fumble, but you don't get the touchdown because we blew it dead, and Vrabel's furious. Rasheed Wallace used to like to say, ball don't lie. See, the pass went backwards. And sure enough, the Patriots, who do get possession because it was ruled a fumble, go on to get a touchdown in the form of a Drake Maye keeping the ball, calling his own number, which, I don't know, guys. That was kind of their offense yesterday. So they better get that workshop before that Seahawks game. They got 2 weeks to figure that out. My gosh. So we're going to need more than Drake Maye stumbles around and makes some scramble. That ain't going to cut it. That dude's out there with a snowblower. That is Will Lutz. Wildly different conditions in the second half and the first half. The kickers couldn't make anything. The offenses couldn't do anything. That was to tie the game. And sure enough, they get a finger on it. That's Leonard Taylor III, who was called up from the practice squad like 20 minutes before the game. That person has to trust Jarrett's his own number and says he didn't tell his teammates he was keeping it. He moves the chains. And guess what, folks? That's the news. It's over. Sean Payton loses at home, scoring 7 points, the second half of which was in very difficult conditions. Mike Vrabel shows up in New England in year 1, wins the AFC like it ain't nothing. Patriots 10, Broncos 7. Let's just say the NFC game was a lot more entertaining, but it's not about that. It's about who wins. And let's hear from both quarterbacks after the Patriots punch their ticket.
Across this team, man. What effort out there tonight. We're going to the Super Bowl. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty cool. So just proud of this team, proud of the defense. We didn't play our best ball in the first half, and the second half came out and just battling the elements, snow and the elements. And it was a gritty win, and our defense, they stepped up. It was fun to watch.
Your view of the backward pass, the ruling that was the backward pass.
Yeah, obviously I can't put our team in a bad position like that. I was trying to throw it away to TB. He was in the area, and yeah, the pressure. He just got up on me real fast, and I was just trying to get rid of it. And like I said, I can't put the ball in the in a position like that. So that was completely on me.
An incredible situation for Jarrett Stidham to be in, but alas, the Patriots move on, and in terrible conditions on the road. Something to note, Milton Williams after the game told Yahoo Sports that since the weather is what it is in New England, the Patriots couldn't make it out of Denver on Sunday night. The plane was grounded, so Mike Vrabel told the team, Manti, that no curfew tonight, but the bus is leaving at 8 a.m. for the plane, and if you're not on it, you're not playing in the Super Bowl. So I'm sure those guys took that just a little seriously, and we hope the Patriots get back safely, of course, to Foxborough.
I know. Hopefully they do get, and hopefully everybody that's being affected by this weather is safe. But one thing that wasn't safe was the Denver Broncos offense versus that defense. Now, it's two different halves to me. I mean, you look at how things looked for the Patriots defense in the first half. They struggled a little bit, and it was rightfully so. You had Stidham in there, and they were trying to figure. They had about 40 plays the Broncos had. In the second half, they had 18 plays for 32 yards. And not only did they have 18 plays for 32 yards, but the Patriots defense started to figure them out a little bit. When you look at a certain play where you have Gonzalez in the fourth quarter, he points out this play. Watch him at the top of the screen, guys, top left. See how he's pointing? He's like, Evan Ingram was about to get this play. This is evidence that they're starting to pick up the tails. And all of a sudden, the ball snaps, and he just jumps this route. Play's over. That is evidence of a very well-coached team. It is evident of going into the locker room at halftime where they had almost 30, 40 plays in the first half, the Broncos did, and then cutting them down to 18 plays. That's adjusting. That's a type of team, Willie, that you need going into the Super Bowl. It's not going to look pretty in the first half, but if you come out in the second half, make the necessary adjustments and start to key in on those things that you talked about at halftime, good things usually happen, and it happened for the Patriots defense.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the Patriots defense all playoff long have been the unsung hero. They've stepped into every situation. They've heard about the other team's defense, even what their offense can do to them. Nevertheless, man, when you watched yesterday, you turn on the tape, the Patriots defense and particularly the defensive line, put on a masterpiece. You talk about Milton Williams, you talk about Pat Barmore. They owned the line of scrimmage. They sacked Jarrett Stidham 3 times. The defense had 2 takeaways. They had a block kick, and I thought they spotted the Denver Broncos 7 just for fun and giggles. Overall, when you put on a tape, man, they got after the Broncos, man, and it was consistent pressure up the middle. They never allowed Stidham to get comfortable. They kept him out of rhythm. They kept pushing back the Broncos' offensive line and really establishing their will and really being dominant. I love what the Pats did, especially on the defensive line. They were irritated. They were irritated because all week long, they heard about how good this Broncos offensive line was, having 3 Pro Bowlers, and how Jarrett Stidham was going to be the one to get them into the Super Bowl. They took offense to that. And listen to what Milton Williams had to say about that after the game.
What did this defense have to dig into to lead this group to it tonight?
Man, we had to pull out everything we had, man. We had to leave it all out here on the line. Everybody doubted us. Everybody talking about we ain't this, we ain't that. They got number 1 O-line, all this and that. I want to hear something today. Yeah. Talk that today. I want to hear
it. and that's what it is, baby. And at some point when you go into the game, you take that chip on your shoulder, you eat it, and you spit it back in your opponent's face, man. And that's what the Pats defensive line did, KB. They were pissed off at the fact that they didn't get the respect they deserved, and it cost them.
I know. He's got to hold on to that for a couple of weeks because my man was fired up. That was a funny clip to watch. I'm going to, in line with many other people who are sitting here saying, Sean Payton, why didn't you have that field goal? Why didn't you take that field goal? And I know that's easy to say. And part of what makes Sean Payton is his bravado and that he is a rogue and he does it his own way. But the idea that they went for it, as I know we can see, that they went for it and did not attempt the field goal in the first half, and it comes back and they only score 7 points. And then afterwards he says, yeah, we only had 1 yard. The fact that you were out there with Stidham going for it, that there's weather coming, right? And I know he's not sitting there staring at the Doppler, but that's part of the deal of that game. You understand the second half might be disastrous or someone is telling you that. And this play sucked. I'm sorry, that's so blunt. This play had no chance. If they take the field goal there with their backup quarterback, you don't even have to care about this play that much. It's frustrating. And on the topic of Stidham, by the end of last week, it was to the point where it was utterly disrespectful to Stidham if you even said maybe he might not be the greatest quarterback of all time in this game. The legacy longing last week and the talking about Stidham, he can do it. He's got the defense. He looked like a guy who hadn't thrown a pass in 2 years. I'm not going to pick on Jarrett Stidham today, but even in the first half, he looked like a backup quarterback. He looked exactly like Jarrett Stidham should look. But I'm as guilty of as anybody else, saying, wait a second, this could be Kurt Warner, this could be Nick Foles, and it was none of that. He wasn't Nick Foles. He wasn't Jeff Hostetler. He was Jarrett Stidham. And it's disappointing because it would have been fun to see some kind of fairy tale. We didn't. It was not that. And if you said that at the end of last week, it was disrespectful to Jarrett Stidham. He knows the offensive. He looked like Jarrett Stidham. That's all I'll say about it. But more importantly, to the Patriots, I want to teach something to somebody, anybody who is in the younger generation, certainly Manti and Jamie, pay attention. So I know Matt Collins has pulled a lot of stuff, and there's a little bit of an eye roll factor with him, and I get it. And you're like, what is he doing now? The barefoot thing wrote. And then he showed up yesterday like this, and not only was it really well executed, I think it left a lot of people scratching their heads about what the hell is this?
Come out to play.
How does that feel?
It feels good. It feels great. But Warriors!
Did the Warriors come out and play,
Come out and play.
All right, so what the hell is he doing? Why does he have bottles? What is Warriors? That is from the 1970s. There's a late 70s movie, 1979, called The Warriors, about New York street gangs, specifically a Coney Island street gang called The Warriors. There they are. So here's the deal. At the beginning of this movie, someone kills a gang leader when they get together to have a meeting. They make it look like the Warriors did it. So the Warriors have to fight their way across the whole city with all these gangs and the cops trying to get them, stop them, kill them. That right there is Luther, played by the great David Patrick Kelly, who a lot of people know as Sully from Commando. Luther is the guy who says, "War."